We saw a lot of this starting with our customers in China when towards the end of 2019, COVID was starting to become a thing. And a lot of them went on to, the holiday break and Chinese New Year, and we were getting a few requests to basically help them plan for a spring semester or an extended winter semester that would be more remote. And for our customers, there's really two aspects to it. So we have customers that can purchase our server software and run it in the cloud. They didn't really have too much of a concern. China is a little bit of a different story because of data centers and everything. But for a lot of customers that run MediaSite on-prem or in their own hardware, they had to really look at it hard and say, well, we built this infrastructure to support, 100 concurrent users, maybe a few terabytes a year, they had their set business use case. And all of that's been thrown out the window. And they're like, well, how do we support, a few terabytes a week of data? And potentially we're going from maybe supporting 50, 100 classes to now every class needs to eventually be conducted somehow using a video conference, web conferencing, or on-demand videos, and then stored for on-demand access. So that was one part of the problem, is just how do you build up infrastructure quickly when nobody can get on campus? So for our on-prem customers, that was, we spent a lot of January, February, March having those discussions and basically trying to run as fast as you can to buy hardware, buy networking gear, and tie in with CDN providers if they wanted to go that approach. So that was one half of my team's headaches from the customer success perspective, just helping them get there. The people that were in the cloud, then we also had to grow our cloud infrastructure to handle that as well, and no other online vendors experience similar growing pains. It's like suddenly viewership is skyrocketed, and the content being created is skyrocketed, and so cloud infrastructure had to be expanded as well. The other piece was, I think, that we saw reflects more like what all of you were saying, because you're in the trenches dealing with instructors, dealing with students, dealing with the content creators, and it was really what we saw in again, starting in China in the December, January timeframe, and then spreading to the US quickly through February, March, and into April, was really an acceleration of plans that people had at some level for many, many years. They wanted to get video online and make their courses online, or do blended learning, or whatever hot title you want to give it this week. It's really just going to provide a different experience from a typical in-person classroom. So really what a lot of our customers were faced with is like, okay, we had this plan, we're going to do it over 4 years. Now we basically need to accelerate that and do it over 4 months. How the heck do we do that? And I think, as Eric, you were mentioning, like, hey, I've never turned on the LMS. I never wanted to use that. Like, what's Moodle? What's Canvas? I know it's there. And then, that's the easy step of just turning that on, because it doesn't require somebody to be in front of a camera and recording themselves. And, as we hear a lot of times, I hate how my voice sounds. I don't sound that way. Do I really sound that way? Yes, you do. But, so there's, it's really a three-pronged approach you're seeing. It's a combination of, what do you do in the LMS? That's kind of pillar number one we'd see. Number two is, how are you going to conduct class? Is it purely on-demand videos? Is it interactive stuff like you'd get in like a Zoom or a GoToMeeting or WebEx or something like that? And then three, how are you going to store that content you're building? So video, we're all here probably love the most, but there's other stuff like documents and interactive tutorials and quizzes and all these other things you build to create engagement. So it's been a hard problem. It's been a lot of sleepless nights just trying to keep up with the workload and trying to help everybody just figure out the best solution for them.